The mother was sitting in her car in the parking lot waiting for the school day to end. She was early, and the school lot was not yet filled. The bell rang, and she watched as the kids ran from their classes towards the exits. She could see her daughter's bright purple shirt and smiled at how she always dressed so differently. She was a unique girl, and she loved that about her. She had a different view on life, and she was always curious about new things. There were a few times her parents had to tell her that something she found fascinating wasn't appropriate to bring home, like the frog, and the snake, and the fire ants. She was always finding the beauty in things others saw as disgusting or scary. The girl reached the sidewalk that led to the parking lot. She didn't stop and talk to friends, but she also wasn't alone. The girl's head was up, her smile was broad, and she had a spring in her step. That is how you walk when you are happy. As the girl approached the parking lot, the mother could see the form that was walking beside her. The girl was talking. The form was listening. It was not a human, and it wasn't an animal. The shape of its head, its torso, and the way it moved were like a man, but the mother could tell it was not human. It was too thin, too tall, too long. When the girl walked by, the mother saw the spirit more clearly. It was beautiful. The mother could see its face. It was calm, relaxed, and smiling. It looked happy, and the girl did too. They were both happy, and they were both walking. The girl had a friend that the mother couldn't see, but knew was there. The mother's smile grew and her heart filled with pride. The girl climbed into the back seat and put on her seatbelt. "How was school?" the mother asked. "It was awesome." "You seem very happy. What did you learn today?" "Oh, we didn't learn anything today, but I had a great time." The girl had a secret she wasn't ready to share, but she had no reason to be unhappy. She had a friend that loved her. "Mom, can we stop at the library?" "Of course, sweetie. We can go wherever you want." The girl smiled at her mother, and then she looked to her left, where the spirit was sitting. "Thanks, Mom and Dad. I love you." "We love you too, sweetie." The girl closed the door, and her mother started the car. As they pulled out of the school lot, she could see the spirit in the rearview mirror, and her daughter was still smiling. The girl was not alone. She had a spirit walking with her, but it was not a ghost. It was not a spirit of death. It was her friend. As they drove toward the library, the mother glanced in the rearview mirror again. The spirit was still there, sitting quietly beside her daughter. It didn't look threatening or eerie, just present like a gentle guardian watching over her child. The girl hummed softly to herself, tapping her fingers on her lap in rhythm with an unheard tune. Every now and then she would glance to her left and smile, as if listening to something the mother couldn't hear. The mother didn't ask. She didn't need to. Some things weren't meant to be explained, only accepted. At the library, the girl ran ahead, her purple shirt a bright splash of color against the stone steps. The mother watched as she paused at the door, turned slightly, and nodded. To the air, to the spirit, to the unseen. Then she pushed open the door and disappeared inside. For a moment, the mother stood by the car, feeling the warm afternoon breeze on her skin. She turned her head slightly, almost as if she, too, could see what her daughter saw. She didn't know what the spirit was or why it had chosen her daughter, but she knew one thing. It meant no harm. If anything, it loved her daughter. And her daughter loved it. A feeling of deep peace settled over the mother's heart. She took one last glance at the empty seat beside her daughter's in the back, then walked into the library, and as she entered, she could have sworn she heard soft footsteps following behind. As the mother watched her daughter disappear into the library, a shadow passed over her heart. She had accepted the spirit's presence, but something deep inside her, a mother's instinct perhaps, whispered that not all was as it seemed. She turned back to the car, glancing once more in the rearview mirror. The spirit was still there, but something was different. Its smile had faded. Its face was still, too still. And its eyes, those calm, gentle eyes, had darkened like the surface of a deep well with no bottom. A strange chill ran through her. It was watching her. The mother swallowed, her throat suddenly dry. She had never feared it before. But now, she realized, she had never really looked at it, not like this. The spirit was always beside her daughter, but never in front of her. It never led, only followed. It never spoke, only listened, and yet it was always there.